Good morning and welcome to the Daily Download. I'm your host, Brad Nelson, and today is Monday, May 12th, 2025. Here's what you need to know today. The popular student engagement platform iClicker was compromised in a sophisticated click fix attack between April 12th and 16th. Hackers injected a fake CAPTCHA prompt into the landing page that tricked users, mostly students and faculty, into executing a PowerShell script. This script pulled additional malware from a remote server, potentially giving attackers full access to victims' devices. The attack targeted users of Windows systems and varied its payload depending on whether the visitor appeared legitimate or was a malware sandbox. Although no user data or iClicker services were directly impacted, the platform is urging anyone who interacted with the fake CAPTCHA to run security scans and change all passwords, especially if they copied and executed the malicious script. Security researchers warned the attack likely aimed to deploy an info stealer to harvest passwords, cookies, crypto wallets, and sensitive documents. These credentials could be leveraged in broader cyber attacks on academic institutions. Notably, iClicker quietly published a security bulletin on May 6th, but it hid it from search engines using a no-index tag, making it harder for users to find. Macmillan, iClicker's parent company, has not responded to media inquiries. Rapid7 has unveiled a new version of its managed detection and response service tailored specifically for large, complex enterprise environments. Dubbed MDR For Enterprise, this fully managed offering is built for organizations operating across cloud, on-premises, legacy, and proprietary systems where traditional MDR services often leave gaps. The new service emphasizes customization, collaboration, and continuous 24/7 threat monitoring. Enterprises can integrate proprietary event sources, develop tailored detections for their specific risk profile, and work hand-in-hand with Rapid7's global SOC for rapid response and alignment with internal workflows. The goal is to help enterprises detect and respond to threats faster with less friction and more insight, especially as infrastructures grow more distributed and attackers more sophisticated. Craig Adams, Rapid7's chief product officer, summed it up. Security teams today want to move faster, respond smarter, and defend deeper. MDR for Enterprise delivers the flexibility and integration they need to do just that. Reddit, the self-proclaimed front page of the internet, just celebrated 20 years of wild growth, community impact, and internet culture dominance. What started in 2005 as a side project by two UVA grads, Steve Huffman and Alexis Ohanian, has become one of the most visited sites in the world with over 1.1 billion monthly users. Originally inspired by Dig and Slashdot, Reddit set itself apart with subreddits, user-driven communities on every topic imaginable, from science to memes to market-moving stock picks. After an early acquisition by Condé Nast, Reddit exploded with the introduction of AMAs, viral moments like Mr. Splashy Pants, and a pivotal redesign in 2018 that helped it finally start thinking like a business. But it hasn't all been upvotes and karma. Reddit has faced growing pains, from moderation scandals and infrastructure woes to an ongoing battle between idealism and profitability. As of May 2025, Reddit is publicly traded, valued at $28 billion, and heavily invested in AI, both for moderation and as a revenue stream, selling data to companies like OpenAI and Google. CEO Steve Huffman says Reddit's value lies in authenticity. In his words, Reddit works because it's human. Whether the next 20 years will keep that promise is still to be seen, but for now, Reddit remains one of the internet's most powerful and unpredictable platforms. President Donald Trump signed a new presidential memorandum directing the Department of Energy to rescind or weaken efficiency regulations for common household appliances, including dishwashers, washing machines, shower heads, faucets, toilets, and urinals. The move is part of a broader rollback campaign aimed at undoing energy and water-saving standards put in place under previous administrations. The memo also directs the DOE to pause enforcement of these regulations and work with Congress to potentially rewrite efficiency laws altogether. Critics say eliminating these rules will raise costs for consumers and waste more energy and water. Andrew Delaski from the Appliance Standards Awareness Project noted that these aren't just regulations, they're consumer protections that Congress enacted. He emphasized that water pressure complaints are misleading, since the standards focus on efficiency, not plumbing pressure. Trump also recently signed bills overturning Biden-era rules for water heaters, refrigerators, and commercial cooling units. And in a throwback to his earlier rhetoric, he signed an executive order in April vowing to make America's showers great again by loosening showerhead efficiency standards. Whether it's light bulbs or laundry machines, this latest wave of deregulation is reigniting old debates between consumer choice, environmental protection, and political messaging. Google has agreed to pay a record-breaking $1.375 billion to settle data privacy claims brought by Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. The lawsuits filed in 2022 accused Google of unlawfully tracking users' locations, collecting biometric data, and monitoring incognito browsing activity, all without proper consent. This settlement is the largest data privacy payout by a single state in U.S. history, eclipsing the previous record of $93 million. It also tops the $391.5 million that Google paid in a 2022 multi-state settlement over similar location tracking issues. In a statement, Google said many of the policies in question have already been changed and described the claims as old issues they're glad to put behind them. A spokesperson also reiterated that the company will continue building strong privacy controls into its services. The payout follows a broader crackdown on tech giants over user data practices. Just last year, Meta paid Texas $1.4 billion over its facial recognition and photo tagging features. This latest settlement not only sends a strong signal to big tech, but also signals an intensifying focus by states on digital privacy enforcement, especially in the absence of federal regulations. Microsoft is taking another step to secure workplace collaboration with a new Prevent Screen Capture feature in Microsoft Teams. Starting in July 2025, Teams will automatically block screenshots of sensitive content shared in meetings, turning the window completely black if a user attempts to capture it. The feature will be available across Windows, macOS, iOS, Android, and the web, and those joining from unsupported platforms will be restricted to audio only to safeguard visual data. While it's a helpful deterrent, Microsoft notes it can't prevent someone from physically photographing their screen with another device, so discretion and trust still matter. It's unclear whether the feature will be enabled by default or if meeting organizers and IT admins will need to turn it on manually. This rollout follows similar privacy features from other platforms like WhatsApp's advanced chat privacy and comes alongside additional Teams enhancement like Copilot-powered meeting summaries, new town hall permissions, and AI assistance for calls and meetings. With Teams now serving over 320 million monthly users worldwide, this update reflects the growing demand for secure remote collaboration, especially as hybrid work becomes the norm. And that brings us to today's tech tip. Even with Microsoft Teams' new Prevent Screen Capture feature rolling out in July, remember that physical security still matters. A screenshot blocker can stop screen grabs, but it can't stop someone from taking a photo of your screen with a phone or a camera. Here's how to boost your visual data security. Host sensitive meetings in private, controlled environments. Use waiting rooms or meeting locks to restrict access. Disable participant screen sharing or recording unless necessary, and remind attendees not to photograph or write down confidential content. Digital tools are getting smarter, but good security habits are still your best defenses. Thank you for listening to the Daily Download. All sources for today's stories will be in the description below. Today's episode is brought to you by FRCS Tech, your partner in business technology solutions. If you'd like to learn more, visit us at www.frcstech.com. And I'll see you tomorrow.